FS Scholarship Program through March 31st. The program provides tuition waivers, a monthly stipend, and medical coverage for eligible students. The Illinois Department of Employment Security reports Illinois' unemployment rate was 4.4% in November, unchanged from September. The rate was half a percentage point lower than a year earlier, while total non-farm payrolls dipped 0.2% for the month. The Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority has announced $50 million in grants for historically underserved communities. The funding includes $35 million for re-entry, economic development, and legal aid, with $15 million for youth development and violence prevention. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your News Flash.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S. Ethos.com/Mike.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I'm Nick Freeman, and here's what was happening in Elgin, our fair city, on January 7th, 1926. Bank bandits take notice. The burglar alarm attached to the Elgin National Bank is in perfect working order. It is so sensitive, in fact, that the mere suspicion of the presence of burglars will release its resonant gong. And that isn't all. Elgin police officers demonstrated their alertness and agility as well. It all happened at 4:35 o'clock this morning. The burglar alarm aroused the echoes of Fountain Square. 4 police officers rushed to the bank with weapons drawn. Fred O'Hara, cashier, was summoned. Investigation disclosed that defective wiring caused the clamor. Net result, police on the job and loss of sleep for Mr. O'Hara. In other news, word has been received of the death of E. Lou Gilbert, former well-known Civil War veteran and Elgin insurance man for many years. Mr. Gilbert was born in 1844. Although a young man when war broke out in 1861, he enlisted and served his country faithfully. He was wounded in engagements and carried the scars of battle during the remainder of his life. After the war, he married Miss Rachel Margaret and brought her directly to Elgin, where he made his home. Burial will be at Bluff City Cemetery.
Elgin 100 years ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 years ago at www.elginhistory.com.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast.
Brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
This afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 40. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 37. Tomorrow, rain afternoon with a high near 53. Temperatures falling to around 51 in the afternoon. Rain is expected tomorrow night with a low around 41. Currently, it is 39 and partly cloudy. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier.
as a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs is probably the best thing you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Kids today live in a world full of social pressure, bullying, and substance abuse. LEAD has a solution. LEAD connects law enforcement agencies with schools to deliver tested, proven, and effective anti-drugs and violence training to kids. Learn more about LEAD, Law Enforcement Against Drugs and Violence, and our work to create safer, healthier communities at leadrugs.org or on social media at We Are LEAD. Sponsored by LEAD, Inc.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports fan from the heart of Chicagoland.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. No, do not adjust your speakers or your station. This is Big Top Sports on a new time slot. Same old host, Derrick Geyer, on the same old airwaves, WRMN 1410 AM. And that is River Media Network. Sports! Yep, new time slot, same old me. Yes, I am singing my own theme song on the intro, but you cannot see me singing my own intro because you are not listening or you are not watching on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That is where you could see me singing along with my intro. And very happy to be here. New time slot. Gotta say, got a little bit of the jitters going, but I'm sure I will work that out over the course of the next couple hours. Very, very grateful for this opportunity to be going out and blasting through the airwaves here in your car, whether you are going home or you're going to pick the kids up or whatever it is that you are doing. So, new programming note, Big Top Sports will be on these airwaves, typically following Talk Time with Tammy or following Dino's Night Out on Fridays. So, if you are interested in sports, and why wouldn't you be interested in sports? Feel free, join along and comment on the youtube.com at WRMN Radio, or feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That is 847-931-1410. I'm Derrick Geyer. This is Big Top Sports. And well, why don't we just get into it? You will eventually learn. I have my little peccadillos just like everyone else. I've got my little quirks. I've got my little sayings. Hell, I've even got my specialty shirt on today. And it reads, sarcasm. It's what I do best. And for those of you that have been listening for a while and joining me now on these very airwaves, or not on these airwaves with me, but listening to me, You will eventually figure that out. So the Chicago Bears are playing the Green Bay Woodpeckers on Saturday, 7 o'clock. Prime time game on Prime. But little interesting thing that I was going through, I was kind of wondering, okay, NFL wildcard playoff game, how much are those tickets going to be? And my goodness gracious, if you are planning on going to the game on this Saturday, holy Smurf. I mean, that's the only thing that I could really say, holy Smurf, is because right now I am looking at the overview and everything on Google right now. I wanted to see how much these tickets were. I can't afford them. I mean, I don't know how any of y'all going to the game could afford them, but 65,000 strong will be going and attending the game this Saturday, which, by the way, you can hear the Bears take on the Green Bay Packers on these very airwaves. WRMN 1410 AM. Pregame kicks off 2 hours before actual game kickoff. So that would make it 5 o'clock. Stick around for the game and then listen in on the post game. Hopefully a victory. Hopefully, yes, it was a Walmart special. Thank you very much. And, you know, you will get the feedback. Hopefully the good, positive feedback. But getting back to the tickets, lowest get-in price for, and we're talking upper deck, the nosebleeds, the where you need a telescope, the Hubble telescope, to see the action going on the field, $430 to approximately $500. Oh, great googly moogly. Now, if you're going to the secondary market, well, you might as well just be ready to drop at least $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 for this. Ooh-wee. I mean, that is definitely being a diehard Bears fan. Not to mention, I mean, first time in a long time that the Bears are in the playoffs, right? But the matchup against the Green Bay Woodpeckers as well. And hey, I just want to give a shout out. Hey, Susie C., Andrew Scheid, Michael Scott, thank you for watching along with me on the YouTube at WRMN Radio. And like I said, if you want to feel free, if you are going to the game, hell, call in 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410. I would be more than happy to take your phone call and just to get like a sense of what is going on. Like, you know, what made you spend an arm and a leg, a week's salary, if not more. I mean, because if you are taking the wife, the kids, or you're going with a bunch of buddies, I want to know. I want to know. And so the lower end, $430. Average price, over $800. Hell, if you are going and you are, I mean, this is out of the realm of possibilities, but if you are going to be in a luxury suite, I can't believe the price here. I cannot believe the cost of this, but a luxury suite for one game, for one afternoon of a hopeful Bears victory, you are talking about cha-ching, a gargantuan cha-ching of $54,000 plus. And that's off of SeatGeek. I mean, talk about being able to I mean, if you actually own that luxury suite and you are looking to recoup your money, I think you'd be able to recoup your money off of that. $54,000. Holy Smurf. I cannot believe that. I mean, why? Okay, yes, it is the Bears versus Packers. Yes, it is the wild card game. Yes, it is at Soldier Field. And I understand, yes, those luxury suites are sold to corporate companies. But still, I mean, if you were to get together 20 of your friends, yeah, let's see, 20 divided by 54. It's still too much damn money. Not that, hey, you want to go take in the Bears game? You want to take in and hopefully see Caleb Williams put it together and Scooby-Doo that Smurf in the first quarter against the Green Bay Packers? And what I mean by that is, instead of waiting for the fourth quarter to come around and actually put a drive together to put some points up on the board, he needs to Doctor Strange that Smurf. Because we already, I've already talked about this week, but new time slot, new audience, talking about how Caleb Williams has his offensive line as the Avengers. I'm thinking that you need to have Ben Johnson be Doctor Strange and Scooby-Doo this Smurf to where Caleb Williams, the offense, the play calling, need to think that they are in the fourth quarter, time running out, down by 2 scores, and make them think that it is at the very beginning of the game. And I don't know if it's just the matter of, well, this is crunch time. This is when Caleb Williams is going to put the Superman cape on. I know I'm crossing, comic book genres over here, MCU, DC Comics. But I would really, and I'm sure everyone out there who is a Bears fan would appreciate it if they did this Superman stuff, this Iceman stuff, this Doctor Strange, hopefully stuff, or Smurf in the first quarter, in the first half. Put up some points on the board in the first quarter, in the first half of the game. This way, we're not dreading when the third and fourth quarter comes around and the Bears are down by 2 touchdowns. Okay. And right now, I feel very jacked up. Like, I want to go running through a wall right now. But I can ill afford any hospital bills or any more brain damage that I might be already susceptible to. But with that being said, you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. More Bears talk on the other side, returning in a few.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Welcome back into Big Top Sports with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, here on WRMN 1410 AM. Nope, I'm still not calmed down. I'm still jacked up. I'm still happy that the Chicago Bears have far exceeded expectations with this season. I am even more jacked up with the fact that you can listen to the Chicago Bears game this Saturday night on these very airwaves, WRMN 1410 AM. Stick around or tune in for the pregame show, probably taking place around 5-ish. Game time is 7 o'clock. And then after the Bears hopefully win. No, you know what? Damn it. After the Bears win on Saturday, stick around for the post-game show here on these airwaves as well. And one of the things that I am excited about, I've had the chance to look up some of what Matt LaFleur, and that, you know, for those of you that are out there listening right now, you already know that Matt LaFleur is the coach of the Green Bay Woodpeckers. Yep. And dare I say that Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers and the Green Bay Packer fans are smurfing in their pants right now. I truly believe that they might need some dude wipes or some Depends or some kind of adult diaper, if you will, because the couple of games that the Chicago Bears faced off against the Green Bay Woodpeckers, the Green Bay Fudge Packers, the Green Bay whatever derogatory term you want to use for them, Packers, they're scared. They're shaking in their boots. And what were some of the things that Matt LaFleur said about Caleb Williams? Well, he's a magician with his escapability. LaFleur specifically noted Williams's impressive ability to avoid sacks and negative situation, a skill he referred to as magician-like. Now, last year, it was running for his life, Caleb Williams. And with the inability to actually throw the ball away, trying to make plays downfield, just holding on to the ball too damn long, if, we're being completely and totally honest. And after 68 sacks last season, yeah, that checks out. So, check. We also got the dual threat capability. LaFleur described Williams as a true dual threat kind of guy, capable of moving the chains with his legs or making off-schedule plays. Chickadee check. I definitely think that if you are going to be passing, or the game plan is to run the ball, please run the ball. Please do the whole play action pass stuff that worked so well, and then do the play action pass stuff. But also keep in mind, Caleb Williams is better on the run with his orbit motions or his loop-de-loop motions from, whether it be from under center or in the shotgun formation. I mean, this is when he is at his most accurate. LaFleur also stated that there's not a throw on the field that Caleb can't make. And then you also heard him talk about how he was doing one hell of a job. I'm paraphrasing here right now. He did one hell of a job against the San Francisco 49ers. And the Chicago Bears were able to keep pace with the 49ers on offense. I don't know whether or not this is going to be a shootout of a game where the Bears offense and Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, need to come up with plays to where it's going to be a 35-28 game. I don't know, because these last couple of games against the Green Bay Packers, they've been really, really tight. And if it wasn't for the miracle of all miracles, recovering that onside kick and that 50-yard bomb to DJ Moore, who's to say what would have happened? But hey, thank you, Green Bay, for mucking that up and putting us, the Chicago Bears, collectively, in the playoffs and home field advantage. There's also, LaFleur also noted that Caleb has had a ton of growth this year. Well, that kind of goes without saying, considering the fact that there was the albatross that was hanging around Caleb Williams' neck last year in Shane Waldron, who I'm not exactly sure if he knew his arse from a hole in the ground. I really, truly don't. And with this year, with the coaching aspect and coaching up the get comfortable being uncomfortable aspect that Ben Johnson put on Caleb Williams during training camp, during the offseason, how much that helped. I mean, hell, at one point in time, Caleb Williams was quoted as saying, and I'm paraphrasing again, that he wasn't sure if Ben Johnson actually liked him. Now these two guys are in lockstep because he actually sees the hard coaching that Ben Johnson has provided him, Caleb Williams, and how awesome this offense could be. So, yes, tons of growth from year 1 to year 2, especially with his decision-making abilities and his ball security. The ability to not take negative plays or to turn the ball over, for that matter. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. The Illinois Department of Employment Security reports Illinois' unemployment rate was 4.4% in November, unchanged from September. The rate was half a percentage point lower than a year earlier, while total non-farm payrolls dipped 0.2% for the month. The Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority has announced $50 million in grants for historically underserved communities. The funding includes $35 million for re-entry, economic development, and legal aid, with $15 million for youth development and violence prevention. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services is accepting applications for its 2026 DCFS Scholarship Program through March 31st. The program provides tuition waivers, a monthly stipend, and medical coverage for eligible students. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you feel embarrassed, trapped, maybe even ashamed just because you own a timeshare? Well, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Chuck McDowell here, the timeshare cancellation guy. I get over 3,000 complaints a week from all kinds of folks that feel the same way you do. Honest people, teachers, veterans, grandparents, all losing sleep over a timeshare they can't get rid of. That's why 15 years ago, I founded Wesley Financial Group to help people take their lives back. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we would want our own family to be treated. That mindset has helped us cancel over 50,000 timeshares from people just like you. So if you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-330-6363. That's 800-330-6363. 800-330-6363.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. This afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 40. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 37. Tomorrow, rain afternoon with a high near 53, and temperatures falling to around 51 in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, rain with a low around 41. Currently, it is 39 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar, where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports fan from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar, where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports fan
Man, I am so jacked up right now. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. You know, I was so jacked up that I feel like I was almost ready to spin out of my seat, like I almost needed a seatbelt. I've kind of felt like I was like looking around, I was like, oh my God, where do I click in from? Just for the simple fact that I am like, you know, I am on one right now. Hey, and don't forget, if you are watching or listening on the tube of views, that's youtube.com at WRMN radio, do me a favor, go to that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up, let me know that you like what you are listening to and or seeing. Okay, maybe just listening to what it is that I am saying. You know, well, it's a subjective thing as far as like the face and everything. But regardless, go there, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to be a part of this sporting conversation or this Bears talk right now, it is 847-931-1410. That is 847-931-1410. And before I forget, don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning for the WRMN Morning Show with Susie C. and Elliot the L Train Serrano. And go to WRMN's Facebook page and check out what Susie C's question of the day is for Thursday. That is, what is something you bought or did that made you feel like an adult? What is something you bought or did that made you feel like an adult? Well, I'm not exactly sure if there's anything that I bought or did to make me feel like an adult. I still feel like I'm 12 years old sometimes, 13. Okay, higher end, maybe 14. That is about it. But anyways, we're talking about the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers coming up this weekend. And I don't know if you already know this, but there's the Bears injury report that is out. And right now, well, no real surprise here. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I don't think that he's going to be playing because he got concussed. And yeah, I just really would like to think that they are going to be taking his time, which is going to diminish the cornerbacks and the defensive backs for the Bears ahead of this, wild card playoff game. Another person that, hello, Mr. Kyler Gordon. Hello, Mr. Braxton Jones. Two individuals. Kyler Gordon, he's a defensive back. Braxton Jones, offensive lineman. Both activated and are in their 21-day window to rejoin the Chicago Bears on the active roster. So there is the potential to get a boost there from those gentlemen as well. Grady Jarrett, he did not participate. Well, let's just call it a non-injury related rest day for today. Also, Jalen Johnson. Well, that's a little bit of disrespect right there because I'm okay in complete and total fulsomeness, transparency. I'm getting the Bears injury report off the Packers.com /news/Packers Bears injury report. And it's not Jalen Jones or Jalen Johnson, I should say. It's Jalen Jones. A little bit of disrespect there, I gotta say, Packers. Gotta say, a little bit of disrespect there. So Jalen Johnson was limited in participation today. Nick McLeod, he was a full participant. DJ Moore, he was limited. Rome Odunze, good to see him back and limited. Aman Abogunbinka, he did not participate. He is unfortunately suffering from a concussion. Ozzie Trapillo, offensive lineman, limited. Joe Tyrone Shoinka, he did not participate. He is also concussed. So a lot of head injuries over the last couple weeks for the Chicago Bears. And Jahdae Walker, you know, that rookie that caught the tying touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone from Justin. Oh, my good, great googly moogly. Not Justin Fields, dummy. Get your Smurf together, would you, Derrick? Jahdae Walker, take two. Jahdae Walker catching the touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone from Caleb Williams. That passed victory over the Green Bay Woodpeckers. So he was a full participant. He was out with an illness that seemed to have been going through the Bears' locker room. Oh, all right. Now, with all this being said, what are some of the injuries that the Green Bay Packers have? Defensive, see, and here's even the thing. If a player is limited today, you've also got Thursday, you've also got Friday. And so whatever these injuries are going to be, I mean, it is wild card playoff Saturday. Two of the oldest franchises in the NFL. Two of the biggest rivalries in the NFL. Some of these players for the Chicago Bears have not experienced playoffs. Cole Kmet, the last time that he was in a playoff game, it was his rookie season. Oh, great googly moogly. And with that, I might as well take a caller. Hello, caller. What is your name and what are you calling about? And please, please, please try not to drop any try not to drop any expletives, please.
Hi, my name's May.
Hello, May.
I just was calling. Just first time calling in. I just recently went to my first Bears game in person, which was really cool, great experience. I've kind of got a hot take, though, and I just wanted your thoughts on it. Okay. I know you've been kind of chatting about Caleb Williams, obviously, and I feel like he has shown some real growth and, potential this season, but I personally am not fully convinced that he's really the franchise quarterback yet for the Bears. Okay. I know a lot of people push back on that idea, so just wanted to get your thoughts on that and kind of see where you evaluate him long term. Like, what do you see in him?
Okay, before I ask or answer your question, let me ask you this question. First game you experienced your first Bears game this year, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you feel about the atmosphere and the ambience of going and taking it in at Soldier Field?
I mean, for a first-timer, I thought it was great. I was really into it. Just loved kind of the atmosphere of the fans around, kind of, just all cheering together, whether you knew people or not, just kind of around you, all cheering for the same thing, kind of wanting them to be successful. So I just thought that was really cool to experience. Awesome.
Okay, now to answer your question, whether or not I think that Caleb Williams is the franchise quarterback going into the future. With that being said, I did it again. Sorry, it's one of my crutch phrases there. Forgive me. But yes, for the foreseeable future, I mean, this is his second season. They are the Chicago Bears. He is under for the next 3 years. After the end of his fourth season, that is pretty much when they need to smurf or get off the pot and offer him his contract extension, if you will. And right now, I mean, considering the fact that with the last game against the Detroit Lions and him already surpassing Eric Kramer's yardage mark, throwing for passing yardage, I would say this is a pretty good start to his career. Not only that, it was also said at the in the middle of the season where Caleb Williams has dropped back a total of 1,000 times, and he's only thrown 12 interceptions. He's thrown a couple since then, but with that also being said, he is in the top of the NFL in that respective. Is he going? See, and I chalk up his first season as a complete and total nightmare. You finally have a coaching staff with the Bears that actually seems to know what the hell it is that they are doing. And that translates to getting your offensive line in order. That translates to working from the center out, protecting Caleb Williams, giving him enough time to pass the ball. Oh, also complementing the passing with the running game to actually have him get receivers open. And I know, and one of the knocks is he misses the really easy throws. And when he misses them badly. It's not even close. But then again, his receivers also on the year have had the highest drops this season. At last I checked, I didn't do the math or the numbers or anything from last Bears game against the Lions, but going into that game, I do believe that the Bears had a league high of 27 drops on the year. So whether it being they get the balls in their hands to catch the ball, and it goes through them, or they drop it, goes off their face mask, goes off their shoulder pads, goes off the numbers, whatever. That does not help his numbers either. And I know Ben Johnson's saying, or has said at the very beginning of the season, we would like Caleb Williams, paraphrasing again, we would like Caleb Williams to be around the 70% completion mark, and he was only around 56 or 58% at the end of the season. But those numbers and the yardage would go up exponentially had his receivers actually caught the ball, held onto the ball, and did what they were supposed to do and get paid to do. And let's see. And as far as, you know what? I will answer that as far as rebuilding in Indiana. On the other side of this break, you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, back in a few.
Get ready for an unforgettable night out in downtown St. Charles at O-Shows, where live music, dining, and entertainment come alive. Visit the iconic Arcada Theater at 105 East Main Street and experience the venue voted Chicagoland's premier entertainment destination. Whether you're enjoying a headliner concert, dining at Rock and Ravioli, or hitting the speakeasy at Club Arcada, O-Shows creates memories. Tickets and event info at oshows.com, and you can call 630-962-7000. That's 630-962-7000. Make your reservation, bring your friends, and plan your next event at O-Shows. Live music, dining, and entertainment, all in one place. Visit oshows.com and join the fun tonight. Supporter of the America's First Responder Fest.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
When tragedy strikes, you need more than a lawyer, you need a voice. Romanucci and Blandon fight for justice in cases of personal injury, wrongful death, civil rights, and medical malpractice. With over $1 billion recovered, their results speak loud. Call 312-458-1000 or visit rblaw.net. That's 312-458-1000. Romanucci and Blandon, national impact, personalized care, no fee unless they win. Proud supporter of America's First Responders Fest.
Hi there, Tammy Scully here from Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. Join me and my sidekicks, Nancy and Becky, for valuable lifestyle tips and unique views and insights on interesting topics and everyday situations, providing nonstop fun and chuckles for all. Get the scoop on consumer news, deep dive on current events, and learn about the newest economic trends, from exercise and gardening to music, travel, recipes, sports, pets, real estate, media, and everything in between. And it's all sprinkled with a healthy helping of bad dad jokes and interesting fun facts to boot. Tune in Mondays through Thursdays from 2 to 4 p.m. for a little fun, frolic, and infotainment. Join us, won't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar, where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Okay, so got a question off the YouTube at WRMN Radio. And what do I think of rebuilding in Indiana as far as, you know, the Chicago Bears, the stadium move, all that fun Smurf stuff? Well, I at this point, any movement or whatever as far as the Chicago Bears with the stadium getting built would be a welcome surprise, because what happened was Kevin Warren said shovels in the ground by the end of 2025. Now, I wasn't around Kevin Warren or anything when or if maybe Kevin Warren actually had a shovel and put it in his backyard to break ground. Maybe that's what he was referring to. But I mean, as far as the Arlington Heights thing, as far as moving to Northwest Indiana, or even the pitch that Hampshire President Mike Reed proposed, moving the Bears out to Hampshire, Illinois. I don't know. All it is a leverage play. They are not happy with the deals that Arlington Heights is maybe going to give them. They are not happy with the fact that the board or the government or J.B. Pritzker comes out and says that, and I'm paraphrasing, that they have no interest in revisiting whatever tax issues or public funding that they are going to be giving the Chicago Bears. I mean, especially when, you know, he's talking about the Bears being a multi-billion-dollar franchise. And I completely and totally agree with it. But the Bears are a billion-dollar company, or multiple billions of dollars a company at this particular moment in time. But that's on paper. And Pritzker said that maybe he would be interested in doing some sort of a deal if he were to, or if the Bears were to pay down that $600+ million still owned on that spaceship in Soldier Field, at Soldier Field. Newsflash, Mr. Pritzker, they don't have any obligation to pay that off. That was through the Chicago Park District. So you kind of dropped the ball on that one. Whether it be the city of Chicago dropping the ball, whether it be, the powers that be at the time that made that deal together, that's all on them. I mean, yeah, sure, the Bears play there, but at the same time, it's been so poorly run at Soldier Field that if I were the Bears, oh man, if I was an owner of the Bears, well, I probably wouldn't be here on the airwaves, that's for sure. I'd be, sitting in a luxury box watching the Green Bay Packers come to town and hopefully getting their asses whooped. I digress. But when you and the city of Chicago and, where they constantly bring in events to Soldier Field, concerts, because that's, basically what you are going to at Soldier Field, or maybe other sporting events, soccer games, high school playoffs, although I'm not sure if they still do those there. It's been rated, Soldier Field, as far as the playing surface, has been rated as one of the worst playing fields in all of the NFL. And it makes absolutely no sense how you could schedule a week's worth of concerts to be played at Soldier Field the very same week, that the Chicago Bears have a game on a Sunday or a Monday. Because that turf gets all tore up. Oh, that's some bad management. And that you are not taking into account of one of the revenue generating aspects of your chief tenant. Now I get the fact that the Bears only play, 17 games? Half of those are home games. So on a good, this year, I don't know, maybe 8 games for sure, 9 games every other year. But you're also talking about how million-dollar players, multiple million-dollar players, slipping, sliding, hurting themselves, nuking their joints. Not good. Absolutely not good. So I have absolutely no problem with the Bears looking to move to Arlington Heights, moving to Northwest Indiana, going out to possibly Hampshire, Illinois. Absolutely none.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. The Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority has announced $50 million in grants for historically underserved communities. The funding includes $35 million for re-entry, economic development, and legal aid, with $15 million for youth development and violence prevention. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services is accepting applications for its 2026 DCFS Scholarship Program through March 31st. The program provides tuition waivers, a monthly stipend, and medical coverage for eligible students. The Illinois Department of Employment Security reports Illinois' unemployment rate was 4.4% in November, unchanged from September. The rate was half a percentage point lower than a year earlier, while total non-farm payrolls dipped 0.2% for the month. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I'm Nick Freeman, and here's what was happening in Elgin, our fair city, on January 7th, 1926. Bank bandits take notice. The burglar alarm attached to the Elgin National Bank is in perfect working order. It is so sensitive, in fact, that the mere suspicion of the presence of burglars will release its resonant gong. And that isn't all. Elgin police officers demonstrated their alertness and agility as well. It all happened at 4:35 o'clock this morning. The burglar alarm aroused the echoes of Fountain Square. 4 police officers rushed to the bank with weapons drawn. Fred O'Hara, cashier, was summoned. Investigation disclosed that defective wiring caused the clamor. Net result, police on the job and loss of sleep for Mr. O'Hara. In other news, word has been received of the death of E. Lou Gilbert, former well-known Civil War veteran and Elgin insurance man for many years. Mr. Gilbert was born in 1844. Although a young man when war broke out in 1861, he enlisted and served his country faithfully. He was wounded in engagements and carried the scars of battle during the remainder of his life. After the war, he married Miss Rachel Margaret and brought her directly to Elgin, where he made his home. Burial will be at Bluff City Cemetery.
Elgin 100 Years Ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 Years Ago at www.elginhistory.com.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. This afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 40. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 37. Tomorrow, rain afternoon with a high near 53, and temperatures falling to around 51 in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, rain with a low around 41. Currently, it is 39 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Let's go!
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Does your car need a shine? At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they make it quick, easy, and spotless every time. And they're open 24/7 for your convenience. Right now, get a free car wash just for joining their text club. Text BRITT to 30400 and enjoy a free car wash. Visit Britain's Touchless Car Wash at 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin or at 555 Willow in West Dundee. Britain's, caring for your car while caring for our community.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's a place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Nope, you are not mistaken. You are in the right place if you are on the WRMN 1410 dial right now. This is the new format going forward. This is Big Top Sports, here to talk sports during drive time. So hopefully, join in. Please join in on whether it be youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That's youtube.com at WRMN Radio. You want to be a part of the sporting conversation, please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410. Been talking a whole helping of Chicago Bears, whether it be from the stadium, the playoffs, the ticket prices, the players being injured that first hour or so. I am going to deviate a little bit because there's potential trade rumors. And speaking of potential trade rumors for the Chicago Cubs, not so much for the Chicago White Sox at this moment, but with that being said, I will have a guest on tomorrow. He goes by the name of Matt Cozy, and he is from Locked On Cubs. So he will be on these very airwaves with me, and hopefully he will be alleviating some of my consternation with the Chicago Cubs. He will be joining me at the bottom of the 4:30 hour tomorrow afternoon. So looking forward to talking with Matt. He really knows his stuff, him and his partner. And, don't forget that Susie C. and Elliot the L Train Serrano have their morning show as well from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday as well. And Susie C's question of the day for Thursday, it is, what is something you bought or did that made you feel like an adult? And I answered this in the previous hour or so. I don't know, because I still feel like I'm 13 or 14 sometimes. I'm in front of a mic right now. But with that being said, if you want to jump in on this upcoming topic of the Chicago Cubs trade, potential trade with the Miami Marlins, feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or give me your comments on the Tube of Views at youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Okay, reports have come out that the Chicago Cubs are looking to trade for Edward Cabrera. He is a not relief pitcher. He is a starting pitcher for the Miami Marlins. And something that I had previously, come across is like, okay, well, no pitching prospects for the Cubs were going to be dealt away in this potential deal with the Miami Marlins. However, I was also kind of worried about, well, who were the potential trade candidates to go back in order to get Edward Cabrera in a deal. And lo and behold, in doing the research, and I come across, SI.com, sportsillustrated.com, /MLB, /Cubs. Well, according to Bob Nightingale, if Marlins starter Edward Cabrera's medical's clear and the Cubs trade is finalized, the Cubs outfield prospect Owen Casey will be a part of the package headed to Miami. Ooh, okay, great googly moogly, because, well, not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, it would kind of solidify the Cubs starting rotation. Cabrera had a 3.53 ERA last season. He had, I believe, a 1.25 or 1.35 WHIP, which is walks, hits, innings pitched, that thing. So 1.25, 1.35, that's not bad. Anytime it's at or near 1 or below 1, that's spectacular. But given the fact, and this is where I am kind of not really looking forward to this trade-ish, is the fact that you're giving up one of your highly touted prospects. Now, Cabrera is a known-ish. He has put together decent seasons for the Miami Marlins. Trying to pull up the numbers and everything here. He's got a plus fastball, which averages anywhere between 94 to 96, potentially 97. I do believe a couple of times he hit 99 last year. So, yeah, he's a flamethrower. He's a power arm. He's definitely got more strikeouts than innings pitched. And it is definitely something that the Chicago Cubs need. Now, where I am coming up with I'm not exactly sure Owen Casey's the right candidate to trade with them. But, and the reason being is the fact that next year, you've got Ian Happ. He's going to be a free agent. You have Seiya Suzuki, who is going to be a free agent. You have also Nico Horner, who's going to be a free agent. And if you're giving away, or not giving away, and if you are trading Owen Casey, that's one of those outfield spots that theoretically would be suited for next season, assuming that there will be a season, a baseball season in 2027. Because if the owners, all 30 owners of MLB, of all the MLB teams, don't get their collective heads out of their asses, it's going to be another lockout. And I'm not exactly sure if baseball can survive another lockout. But I digress on that aspect of things. Hey, Brendan, thanks for listening. Now, going back to Edward Cabrera. Okay, so he had an 8-7 record last year. 3.53 ERA. Okay, that's decent-ish. He had 150 strikeouts. Now, where he pitched in 26 games. 8-7 record, okay, 353, 123 whip. All okay, trying to find where his innings pitched were. But I do know that I believe he had an innings pitched of close to 126 innings. So let's just take that for the time being. If he did pitch 126 innings and he's got 150 strikeouts on the year, yeah, that's a power arm. That's a power arm that misses bats and would be a decent get for the Chicago Cubs. I'm just not sure if the price is too high with trading away Owen Casey, who showed glimpses of being that next caliber of player that you would need for the Chicago Cubs after this upcoming year. That's all I'm saying. But then again, with that being said, Edward Cabrera has pitched in the majors since 2021, so 4 years, 5 years. He's pitched in, when he first got to the Marlins in 2021, he pitched in 7 games. 2022, 14 games. 2023, 22 games. 2024, 20 games. Last year, 26 games. His ERA has gone down from his 23 to 24 year, and 25 was probably one of his better years. And I could see him being a nice little piece for the Chicago Cubs, because now he's not on the Florida Marlins. And he's got the Gold Glove caliber defense behind him. And the Cubs are an organization that pride themselves on playing good baseball. Good defensive-minded baseball. 4 straight years, Ian Happ, left field, Gold Glove. Dansby Swanson, up the middle, shortstop, couple of Gold Gloves. Didn't win it last year, but Nico Horner did at second base. And then you also have PCA patrolling center field. And dude basically gets everything out there going his way, making those plays that are absolutely ridiculous and highlight reel worthy. So this could, well, I guess I just kind of talked myself into it. Nice little therapy session here on Big Top Sports. WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly. A little bit more of Cubs talk on the other side of this break when we return.
Kick off your weekend with a little flair. It's Dino's Night Out every Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM. Dino brings you the best of the Fox Valley's entertainment scene. Live music, local artists, street festivals, great eats, and the personalities behind them. If it's happening, Dino's talking about it. And bringing the spotlight is none other than the legendary Arcada Theater, located at 105 East Main Street in St. Charles. Catch dinner, drinks, and a show, all under one historic roof. So whether you're making plans or just love to know what's hot, make it a date with Dino's Night Out, Fridays 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM, or stream it live at WRMN1410.com. Dino's Night Out, powered by the Arcada Theater, where Fox Valley comes to play.
Before the weather gets too cold, it's time to finish up those outdoor jobs. That's why ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and to the tools. You also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
Welcome to WRMN, your trusted voice in the Fox River Valley for over 75 years. We bring you fact-based news, good faith discussions, and entertainment that brings people together. From national headlines to local stories, WRMN is your home for thoughtful dialogue and community engagement. No matter the time of day, where you're listening from, or who you are always welcome here. Thanks for making us a part of your day. This is the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And in doing the whole refresh thing and this coming down approximately 15 minutes ago or so, according to Christina DeNicola of MLB.com, the Cubs have, in fact, traded their number one prospect and two more in a Cabrera trade. So it looks like this deal is all but done and taking effect. So what do the Cubs get? The Cubs get right-handed pitcher Edward Cabrera from the Miami Marlins. The Marlins get outfielder Owen Casey, their number one prospect in the org. They also get infielder Christian Hernandez, Cubs number 11 prospect, and infielder Edgardo De Leon. Well, that right there. So, as far as I know, this deal is done. And, well, tough cookies, Derek. I would have preferred for the Cubs not to have given up Owen Casey in this. I would have much rather have had the Cubs given up the likes of Ballesteros instead, because that means, Moises Ballesteros. However, with that being said, the Chicago Cubs just bolstered their pitching rotation. And with that being said, You're not going to have Justin Steele for the very beginning of the season in 2026. Shota Imanaga hopefully will figure some stuff out as far as why his sinker was not sinking and why he had to rely on either his curveball or his slider at the very tail end of the season, giving up 20 bombs in the second half after the All-Star break. Jamison Tywin was pretty good last year. Cade Horton, man, he was stupendous last year. Cubs could have really have used him in, well, during the playoff run, that is for sure. And Colin Ray, he is also going to be in the mix going forward. Then you also have Matthew Boyd, but we shall see as far as like the powers that be and the arms that be that are going to take effect for the Chicago Cubs in this upcoming 2026 season. And as I said, I will be talking with Matt Cozy from Locked On Cubs tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. Well, 4:34-ish. But to get his opinion and thoughts on this, along with the other thoughts of, well, is Cody Bellinger going to be making it back to the north side? Is Alex Bregman destined to play third base with the Chicago Cubs this year? And if so, what happens with Matt Shaw? And by that domino, what happens with Nico Horner? Are the Cubs also in on Bo Bichette, the utility player? Well, I think he's a potential utility, big-time Ben Zobrist-like utility player with a very high financial price tag, if you will. Utility player for the Chicago Cubs. And again, it's also what happens with the other pieces there for the Chicago Cubs when that transpires. Oh, it is going, well, finally something happened on the north side that is of note. This is for damn certain. Because up until this point in time, wanted a bat, still want a bat. But I want a bat that makes sense. I don't want a left-handed bat, or I don't want a left-handed batting replacement or a platoon player to come in and compete with Michael Busch, who was by far one of the better hitters on the Chicago Cubs all of last season, only behind Nico Horner. It just, that in it of itself kind of blows my mind that you don't let one of your better hitters, one of your better power hitting hitters, face off against left-handed pitching. I will also be talking to Matt Cozy about that as well, and talk about the other aspects on the north side in Wrigleyville come tomorrow afternoon. It's, in one regards, it's been great. It's been a great winter as a Chicago sports fan, in that the Chicago Bears are in the playoffs. The Chicago Bears are taking on the Green Bay Fudge Woodpeckers on Saturday. However, the two other tenants at the United Center, or the two tenants at the United Center, the Chicago Blackhawks and the Unbelievea-BULLS, well, it's been Unbelievea-BULLS, if you will. Be getting to that more on the other side. But you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 14. 15:10 a.m. Back in a few.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services is accepting applications for its 2026 DCFS Scholarship Program through March 31st. The program provides tuition waivers, a monthly stipend, and medical coverage for eligible students. The Illinois Department of Employment Security reports Illinois' unemployment rate was 4.4% in November, unchanged from September. The rate was half a percentage point lower than a year earlier, while total non-farm payrolls dipped 0.2% for the month. The Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority has announced $50 million in grants for historically underserved communities. The funding includes $35 million for re-entry, economic development, and legal aid, with $15 million for youth development and violence prevention. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S. Ethos.com/Mike.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Before the weather gets too cold, it's time to finish up those outdoor jobs. That's why ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and to the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 37. Wind gusts reaching up to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, rain afternoon with mostly cloudy skies and a high near 53. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Currently, it is 35 degrees with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Okay, I got to play with the toy a little bit. You know, that goes back to what I was saying as far as the WRMN question, or I'm sorry, the WRMN's morning show's question of the day with Susie C. and Elliot, the L Train Serrano. And Susie C's question of the day for tomorrow, it is, what is something you bought or did that made you feel like an adult? See, I am a kid in an adult's body, so I got to play with the toys that I have at my convenience, really. And so last hour or last half hour is talking about the Chicago Cubs and the potential trade that was out there. Edward Cabrera is now a Cub, or for all intents and purposes, has been traded to the Chicago Cubs for Owen Casey and a couple of other prospects. But with that being said, I also feel like I need to give a little bit of love to the Chicago White Sox here, because they have actually been doing a decent job during the offseason. Now, is it a decent enough job to hopefully get under the 100-loss season that the Chicago White Sox have been experiencing over the last 3 years? And I'm kind of optimistic here. You've got the Babe Ruthian-like slugger that was signed from Japan, Munetaka Murakami. Big power bat, at least big power numbers in Japan. So couple that with Colson Montgomery and half of his season that he had with the Chicago White Sox last year. Now, I realize 22 bombs and 65 RBIs around that mark. It's a nice pairing. I was kind of lauding the fact that, well, hey, if the Chicago White Sox are actually in on it, why not get and try to bring in Bam Bam? Bam Bam, as I affectionately call him, is one Kyle Schwarber, Cubs World Series legend and hero. But he re-signed with Philly, and I don't think that he would have went to the Chicago White Sox per se. But even still, as I was talking about it, and I was potentially pining for him to join the Southsiders, it kind of makes sense because it's another power bat. It's a known commodity. While he doesn't necessarily hit for a high average, but in this day and age of Major League Baseball, who's really hitting for a high average? Oh, here, let me look this up right now. MLB batting average. So let's see. What is the average MLB batting average in 2025. Okay, so, oh my great goodness. Okay, so the Major League Baseball league-wide batting average for the 2025 season was around 245 to 250. Oh. Well, that explains that's the new norm, everyone. Because back in my day, when I was watching baseball and I was 8 years old, the league batting averages were around 320. 320, 325-ish. Advance that 15 years, and league average, batting average that was considered good was around 300. So if you had a couple of players that were around 300 this past season, well, they did pretty damn good, a.k.a. Nico Horner for the Chicago Cubs. But even still, I'm not talking about Nico Horner or the Chicago Cubs. I'm talking about Chicago White Sox. But even still, to bring in the slugging person of Munetaka Murakami, where he's been killing it over there in Japan, that's what you need to do to build and to bring and give a little bit of hope to the south side of Chicago and the Chicago White Sox. Chicago White Sox also went out and got Sean Newcomb, signed a 1-year deal, $4.5 million contract as a reliever. Needed to do that. Needed to go out and upgrade the coaching staff as well. And as far as potential trade bait, potential projections for the Chicago White Sox, where does Lenyn Sosa fit in? Where does Jonathan Cannon fit in? What's going to happen with Corey Lee? You've also have, catchers back there for the Chicago White Sox, which is also going to be drawing teams in to potentially trade for. Kyle Teel was a pleasant surprise last season. Edgar Quero was also a pleasant surprise last season. And the arrow is finally looking up at the rate, which is probably why they changed the logo at the rate. Or just call it the rate now. But also, pitching equity for the Chicago White Sox and their young, talented starting pitchers, bullpen that are in there as well. Schultz, McDougal, Drew Thorpe, Mike Vassell. And in talking with a minor league player, and it was off the record, so I can't really go or name, the player that I was talking to. They were absolutely excited to be on and part of the Chicago White Sox. because there is so much opportunity for growth this year. Once spring training hits, with the exception of maybe Lou Bob out there in center field, Luis Robert Jr., and the potential trade bait that he will be coveted as, assuming that he could stay healthy. Oh my goodness, please stay healthy. Or hell, please round into the MVP form that you were a few years or so ago, while actually being able to stay on the field of play. Because if that's any indication, I mean, then this could be a very interesting and fun team with Murakami, Montgomery, Luis Robert Jr.? I know that they re-signed him, or they exercised his $20 million option. So, and the contingency is whether or not his ailments and this offseason will help him out. And maybe being able to take a mental reset and get rid of all the noise that he's been subjected to over the past couple of years. I would like nothing more than the Chicago White Sox to be one of these teams that actually comes out of nowhere and surpasses all of the projections that are being made for them in the upcoming 2026 season. Because make no mistake about it, I myself, yes, I admit, I am a Chicago Cubs fan. I make no bones about it. But with that being said, summertime in the Windy City, in the gorgeous land of Chicago, it is so much better and so much more entertaining when the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox are both kicking ass and doing well. I'll get to a couple of teams that aren't doing so well on the other side of this break. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly back on the other side.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous landscape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding a unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
When your car needs trusted care, think All Around Auto Body in Schaumburg. Family owned for over 30 years, they deliver high-quality collision repair and dependable service from start to finish. Call 847-352-3825. They're located at 501 Morse Avenue in Unit D. Get your vehicle back in shape with the experts who care. All Around Auto Body, where your car is treated like family. Call 847-352-3825 today. Proud sponsors of America's First Responders Fest.
Here on WRMN AM 1410, we like to keep you informed and in tune to what's happening here in the Fox River Valley and what's going on here on WRMN. We recognize the importance of local radio to be a part of the conversation and to be a part of the community for the community.
You know, we talked about the importance of community theater, but supporting community radio is a big deal too. And, you know, for WRMN, this is a really cool thing that you guys do every day, and a really important thing. You have to have a local media outlet to talk about what's going on in your town. So you guys do a nice job.
Tune in to AM 1410, WRMN. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/WRMN Radio. Keep in tune and informed on what's happening here in the Fox River Valley, right here on WRMN.
And welcome back into the final minutes of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Okay, going into tonight's matchup, you've got the Chicago Bulls that are going to be tipping off against the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. That's a 6 o'clock tip. That is Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern time, but 6 o'clock Central. And over the last 10 games, Chicago Bulls have actually got a 6-4 record, but they're still 2 games under 500, sitting at 17-19. And, the Detroit Pistons are leading the Eastern Conference right now with a record of 27-9. And currently the Bulls are 10 games in back of them. So while the games, I can't even say that the games are going to be close. I would like to think that the Chicago Bulls are going to, come out, play their damnedest, play their hardest against the Detroit Pistons, which most likely they will, unless they hit a speed bump or something. And they come out shooting absolutely horrible. Like one of the games that they shot 33 points in the first half. Oof, that was tough. So the Bulls are coming off of back-to-back losses to the Hornets, 112-99, and then a loss to the Boston Celtics, 115-101. So it's anyone's guess as to what version of Billy Donovan's Chicago Unbelievea-BULLS will take place. And then as I kick it over to Cold Steel on Ice. The Chicago Blackhawks are currently on a 3-game winning streak. And tonight they are taking on the St. Louis Blues. And that game is at the UC. It is at 8:30 tonight. Another lovely either TBS, TNT, ESPN Plus, whatever, start. It kind of goes back to the conversation that I was having yesterday with Bob Mariner when he was in studio. And we're talking about all these different platforms to where we can potentially watch sporting events. I don't know, Amazon, Netflix, Prime, Apple, YouTube, Yahoo, Fubo. I don't know. It makes watching some of your favorite teams a little bit more difficult. And I know, I know it's adding money to the organizations. And by that, I mean, whether it be the Shield, the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and then it trickles down to the rest of the team, which is good because the more money the teams make, the more that they are hopefully able to put back into their product that they are putting forth in front of the fan base. Yet, I almost get the sense and the metaphorical feeling as if someone is reaching into my already almost barren wallet and taking out whatever little that I have in there. That's just my opinion. Yes, Todd, go Hawks. Hopefully Connor Bedard will actually be practicing sometime this week. And maybe, just maybe, there will be some sort of measure of revenge tonight against the St. Louis Sucks Blues, who last time did beat the Chicago Blackhawks in the game where Connor Bedard got hurt. That was way back on December 12th. But it is nice that the Chicago Blackhawks it's nice that Nick Foligno is back in action. Nice to see the captain back on the ice for the Chicago Blackhawks. And be that as it may, I do not mind that Spencer Knight did not make the Olympics. I do not mind that Connor Bedard did not make the Olympics for Team Canada as well. Spencer Knight for Team USA, Connor Bedard for Team Canada. Don't care. Because both players are young enough to where they will be in the Olympics in another 4 years. Or maybe in another 4 nations battle or face-off. So with that being said, you've been listening to Big Top Sports with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, on WRMN 1410 AM, 4 to 6 p.m., baby. And then don't forget, tune in to the morning show, WRMN Morning Show with Susie C. and Elliot the L Train Serrano, where you have Susie C's question of the day, which is, what is something you bought or made you feel like an adult? What is something you bought or did that made you feel like an adult? I don't know. I'm still searching for that feeling like an adult moment. But please continue listening to WRMN 1410 AM. Have a great rest of your day.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond